Yo, so the NBA is back finally, long awaited. We finally get the NBA returning back July 31st at Orlando Disney World, and that's all we can really ask for. I mean, July 31st is a long time away, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, at least we're getting it right. Today in this video, I am gonna give you like 4 different type of storylines we need to look out for once the NBA returns. So, an 8-game regular season, 22 teams, 13 West, 9 East. At least keep the Suns home, you know what I'm saying? You think Suns have a realistic shot of making the playoffs? Nah, I don't think so. Sorry, D-Book. You need to get out of there as soon as possible, alright? But now, let's get into some of the 4 major factors when this NBA returns. So, first is rest and injuries. Well, who will benefit and who will be hurt more from the rest? First, benefit the Clippers, of course. Kawhi's only played 51 games. PG's only played 42. Obviously Kawhi, he barely plays he doesn't even play back-to-backs. He barely can play 4 or 5 games in a row. He has a chronic knee issue that he's keeping concealed because he's Kawhi. PG's been dealing with injuries all year, really. Shoulder injury at the beginning of the season, and now as the seasons went on, he had a little hamstring injury. So, I mean, I see the Clippers really benefiting from all this rest, and hopefully Kawhi and PG are at full strength once the playoffs roll around. I don't think the Lakers will benefit though, as Bron, as we all know, 17 years in the league, 35 years old. I think he would like to have kept playing until the season was over, because obviously he was already in great game condition. I mean, LeBron's going to come back in great game condition most likely, right? But I mean, it's going to be harder to get back in game shape. I know LeBron's always in shape. He's always working out, say on his Instagram every day or so. But as you know, if you play basketball, getting in game shape is the most important thing. I mean, LeBron's human at the end of the day, right? So I mean, he might get affected a little bit by this. Maybe not too much, because he's freaking LeBron, but Philly. So Ben Simmons and Embiid I think they were both out when the NBA got canceled. I think Embiid was back, but Simmons was out. He had missed the last 10 games prior to the season being shut down. Embiid's been dealing with a shoulder injury. I mean, Embiid's always hurt, so maybe this won't help him as much. But Simmons, he had an impingement in his back, I believe. I mean, if Simmons and Embiid are both healthy and they're both playing at their full strength and potential, I think that they can beat anyone in the East besides the Bucks. I mean, they really had a great chance of making the conference finals last year, right? Until, yeah, sorry about that, Philly fan. 2 final teams I think will benefit the most from this rest are the Celtics and the Raptors. Another thing we gotta look at is the momentum. So, abruptly stopping in the middle of the season is not ideal whatsoever, especially for a team that is rolling, firing on all cylinders. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lakers were the Lakers were really firing on all cylinders all year long, but they're 11-2 in their past 13 games up until the break. But still, you would like the momentum rolling right into the playoffs. And another team I think that's going to affect a lot is the Oklahoma City Thunder. And they were 12-4 in their last 16 games. They were rolling. They were pushing their way up. I believe they're 5th. They're only a game and a half out of 3rd place. And obviously that would have shook up the whole entire playoffs. I mean, these 8 games, a lot can still change in the playoffs. Jazz can move down. I believe the Jazz will move down. I believe the Rockets will move up. But we'll see. We'll get to the Rockets in a second. But OKC with CP3, Shea, and Schroeder and Gallo, like those are 4 guys I just named, can all score 20 points like on any given night. They work just so well together. Now, a team related to OKC, the Houston Rockets. Now, different from LA and OKC, the Rockets were struggling prior to the break. They have lost 4 out of their last 5, and they've really been struggling, especially on the defensive end. All year long, the Rockets haven't been that great of a defensive team, and with the small ball, obviously the defense is going to get even worse. So I think the Rockets could have used a lot more time to figure out their small ball rhythm, and that includes their defense. And I'm not just talking about on the offensive side with the threes and all that stuff. I'm talking about the defense and the rebounding. Obviously, we know Covington and PJ Tucker are the main guys when it comes to those 2 things right now. But you wanna have in-game experiences with defense and rebounding, so you know how to adjust to certain situations. And I think that's really gonna hurt the Rockets. But in the playoffs, I think it'll just come down to threes at the end of the day, and it'll come down to Harden making the clutch shot when it matters most. Shout out to Max Kellerman. Another thing I'm really going to look out for is no home court and possibly even no fans at all. The NBA was fidgeting around with some type of home court advantage. Oh, they get extra possessions, or they're getting extra timeouts, or they're getting extra fouls. No, don't bring all that gimmicky stuff into the game. It's basketball. Just leave the game how it is fundamentally, and let's just go with that. Teams like Denver, Utah, and OKC will definitely be hurting from missing out on home court. Why Denver and Utah? Obviously the high altitude, the thin air up there, they use it to their advantage. That's the excuse for a lot of teams. They don't like going up to the cold. They don't like the mountains. They don't like the snow, whatever, right? Denver likes to do an up and down pace too, so they can't use that to their advantage anymore. And their crowds are pretty nice, actually. Pretty nice in terms of loud, not nice in terms of showing courtesy and respect. At least for the Jazz fans. Denver fans are nice, but Jazz fans, ugh. But OKC would definitely miss out on that as well, because I believe OKC has one of the best home courts in basketball for the last at least decade or so. Ever since they moved back to OKC, their crowd is just, I mean, they live up to the name Thunder. You know what I'm saying? They're electric out there. Me being a Russ fan, watched so many OKC playoff games at home. The crowd is just absolutely crazy, absolutely loud. So no fans will affect those three teams the most, I believe, and also the teams with no experience and lack of execution. The Grizzlies do have a really nice home court advantage, but I mean, if they end up playing the Blazers in the two-game playoffs, or I mean potential two-game playoffs, I got the Blazers winning that one, and the Blazers will be in the playoffs therefore. So that's another thing to look out for. Yeah, the Blazers are just more experienced. They're most likely getting Nurkic back. They're most likely getting Collins back, I heard. And obviously Dame and CJ have been to the playoffs multiple times. I mean, they haven't really lived up to expectations in the playoffs for the most part, but they at least have been there compared to the Grizzlies, in which, I mean, me personally, I expected the Grizzlies to be the worst team in the league, but for Ja Morant to get them to the 8th seed right now, it's ridiculous, and props to them. But if it came down to Portland and Memphis, I'd pick Portland. Last but not least, does this year's NBA champion have an asterisk by their names when it's all said and done? I say no. Why? Because during these tough times right now in this country, so many distractions right now. Coronavirus, protests, you got police brutality going on. No one can focus right now on the game. You know what I'm saying? And with the season abruptly ending the way it did and then coming back, it's going to be really tough. Getting back in shape, getting reacclimated to the team, to all this stuff, like stopping in the middle of the season. Not no all-star break type of break, a 3 to 4 month break. Like, that is huge. Getting back into shape and condition is going to be real tough for a lot of guys. And I feel like it's going to be actually the exact opposite of an asterisk next to a team's name. I think it's going to be one of the best rings ever won, you know what I'm saying, by whoever wins this year. And the lack of just no home court advantages. I think this is going to be one of the more toughest titles to win, because also, guess what? When these teams are coming back, I feel like it's going to be even like as competitive as ever. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be as fun as ever, even though we're not having fans. I think the competitiveness is just going to skyrocket through the roof. And I mean, whoever wins, I'll give them their props plus more. You know what I'm saying? They more than deserved this year's championship. I don't know why people are saying there's an asterisk next to the season, an asterisk next to the champion this year. None of that here for me. Champion, you deserve all my respect. Shout out to the Clippers, because I think they'll win it all. But with that being said, man, NBA's back. That's all I can ask for. The format's pretty nice. I like the little 9-8 seed thing, to where if the 9th seed is within 4 games, they play. 8th seed has a double elimination, so they would have to lose twice to get out. And then the 9th seed would have to win twice to get in. So, I mean, that's going to be nice to see. As a prediction for that, I'll have the Blazers in the playoffs over the Grizzlies. If y'all like this video, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Who's going to win NBA title to you? Let me know. And I'm out, man. Peace.